off the air. Hi, I'm Debbie. Jamaican and other Caribbean broadcasters buying FM access in New York have been silenced. This after 93.5 WVIP was sold to a Christian media corporation. A big blow to decades-old Irie Jam Radio. But its owner, who says the sale disrespected the Big Apple's West Indian community, is vowing a fast return to the airwaves.
Summer in the city. We are back in the Big Apple for the West Indian Carnival Parade, coinciding with New York's Labor Day celebrations, the unofficial end of summer and the start of fall. But first, the bad news, which is big news for the tri-state Caribbean diaspora. Irie Jam Radio off the air since Thursday, August 31, having served the community for decades, providing not just news, information and entertainment, but also a voice to West Indians in the vast melting pot that is New York. 2023 would have been its 30th anniversary, a bittersweet moment for CEO Bobby Clark.
Yes, we're angry right now.
WVIP, the station on which Irie Jam transmitted, has been sold to HMG out of Texas, a Christian media corporation, aiming to expand its reach to millions of Hispanic listeners in the New York area.
But that's not the issue. The issue is being on the station for a number of years. I think that the Caribbean community was robbed and disrespected.
Why? Well, it seems WVIP's owners, the O'Shaughnessy family, initially pitched a sale offer to Irie Jam, but what seemed the likelihood of a deal turned out to be a mirage. Clark alleges WVIP was actually sold for $5 million less than what he'd raised to buy out the station.
The family that owns the station offered it to me and the Irie Jam group for a price, let's say a price. When we got that money together, it started getting blurry, where they said, well, you know what, this is what we have to do. And kept moving the goalposts. And after a while, we realized that it wasn't a genuine offer because they were offering it to other people for way less. And that is where the disrespect came in. Over $20 million spent with the O'Shaughnessy family to be on air, for them to kick us off and sell it to somebody else. It's almost racist.
So after what Clark says was a painful slap in the face, what next for Irie Jam, which also operates the bridge in Jamaica?
It puts us in a position where we cannot access our people. So if something's happening in Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, it's not going to be hard to disseminate information. It's a tragedy because our businesses also rely on what we do, what Irie Jam does. Getting information to support, to go to dances, to buy their goods and services in their community. As far as Irie Jam, we're not done. It's a rough period. And we're going through some changes, but we're going to rebound quickly.
For the folks who say terrestrial radio is dying, would you see this as an opportunity to kind of regroup, rebrand, and move in a different direction?
All right, so let's get that myth straight. Nothing indicates that terrestrial radio is dying, because when you're in your car, when you're in your home, and you want to connect to your music, your culture, your tradition, that terrestrial radio is still very, very strong. We've made sure that as you come off that plane at JFK, LaGuardia, in New York, you can find us. We can find you, and you know where to go to do what.
Bobby Clark there speaking to Anthony Turner for ER and doubling down on his vow to return to the airwaves.
Too many memories to mention, but it's a good one. It's a great life to be the CEO of Irie Jam. That's a dream come true. So we will not let down our community. The memories will continue. And we'll make sure that DJ Roy, Dub Master, Erwin Clear, Jabba, Cali B, Beauregard will be on air, and we'll connect to Jamaica, and we'll keep Jamaican traditions and lifestyle growing and building here.
The Westchester Reggae Festival in White Plains, featuring Third World, Mikey Spice and Luciano. The sort of event Irie Jam would have factored in with promotion and coverage. The WVIP sale bringing home some harsh realities.
I hope our community is learning from this kind of experience. And one of the things that's happened to us in the Caribbean community is that we have been here in the United States for a long time ago, and yet we find it difficult to create the kind of institutions and amenities to support ourselves. We're always depending on other people to support us.
On the move in the Bronx, dropped by a community treat, kids having a good time, a cricket match in progress, and some more feedback about Irie Jam off the air due to the WVIP sale.
It's sad, it is a voice.
Linkage Radio, another community Caribbean voice. The silencing of Irie Jam and other brokered community stations at WVIP, a deja vu moment.
A few years ago, we lost WNWK.
I remember that.
5.9.
Yes.
There was talk about us owning our own station. 2023, we're losing VIP. What do you think that we didn't do right? Why we're in this situation a second time?
What we didn't do right is that we didn't invest in our infrastructure, and we need to own in our community. When we all input into one organization that's not our own, they have the right to do whatever they want. I think it's affected a lot, just like promoting a show. Most promoters depend on the platform of VIP.
I read an article in the paper that AM is not being made no more in cars. So sooner or later, we ain't got no radio, no car no more. You know that, Anthony. It's over. You gotta go to the internet, download.
The way how I see the youth them run it now, and we always see the youth of the future, regardless of what you see them do. Most of the time, it's just the internet. So I think maybe people more here are more turned to internet. But I need the radio still, because I love the personalities and I love what it do for the community, because it's really a voice.
The standoff between Jamaica and the US over the same-sex marriage status of one of the latter's diplomats, another hot topic among Jamaicans.
To come to a man's house, a man's country, and try to enforce what you want to enforce on them, I think that is totally wrong. I just believe that the way we go about it sometimes by saying to kill people, I think that's a mistake, because once you start to talk about killing somebody for whosoever, whatsoever they are, I know that it's totally wrong.
Downsound record singer Diani making the radio station rounds and in Labor Day weekend action at Reggae on the Avenue, ahead of gigs in London and Colorado later this month. Anthony Turner spotted dancehall personality Nuffy and comedian Fancy Cat and got an update.
Listen me, anywhere me there, me make it work. See if you see me in Jamaica for a long time, anywhere me there, me always active and hot and ready and I make it a work. I always a work with a female to come in a play and Nuffy. Me not stray. All you hear them a chat about me run away. You mad?
So long now you know you go to Jamaica?
Almost about 3 years. Almost 3 years I don't go to Jamaica. But you know me I fix up myself and I set up myself. But you know me I forward down there. Cause me a boom boom and say me run away, you know. And me I say boom boom, watch yourself. Beaky Bailey and Pretty Boy fly. Them a slide, you know. But me a glide.
See a lot of things that go on with the ATM. I get robbed and all kind of things. What you have to say about that?
People are hungry, and when people are hungry, they will do things. The kids that raise now is not the kids back in the days of my days. See? So we have to understand, say each one have to help one and make it work. But me not say what them do is right. But when people are hungry, they will do things.
There was a standoff between the US and Jamaica with the diplomat. I don't know if you have followed the thing. What you have to say about that?
We as Jamaican, if we don't do certain thing and we don't like certain thing, don't bring it to a country. You get me I deal with? I'm gonna have to deal with that thing how I'm supposed to deal with it, you know, but that's me say. Me no business with nobody life, me business with nothing life.
Rota are one of the places in Brooklyn where when you come, the price of the food is very affordable. Them try to junk you when you go in there and you try to get a drink. Them try to give you, them overpour you like crazy. See it? And the entertainment is always the best.
Nowhere is like Jamaica but Brooklyn. Nowhere in America. Brooklyn are the closest to it.
Carnival, big day tomorrow. What do you think is gonna happen?
Well, I'm not a carnival fan, you know. You see about, you know, the place I got busy. Normally when I'm there about the place, I'm going to sit and come through, but I sit back and watch. Wave here and then go back here. But I got busy, it's always been busy.
Big vibes, had fun, you know, first time. Reggae on the Avenue, first time in Brooklyn, you don't know, first time in Utica, so it's a good energy.
It's the music, it's the personality.
You know, we speak to more than just the heart, we speak to the soul, we speak to the mind, we speak to so much other aspects of the female anatomy, you know, so with that being said, you know, them love it because of that. Big vibes tomorrow, as we say, we never go Labor Day parade yet, you know, so we look forward to perform on it for the first time, as well as attend it as a patron for the first time as well, so you can catch me on the Brata float. Tomorrow, later, Brad, where's it? Brooklyn. Brooklyn, we're loud outside, not even know, first time we're there.
Yep, Labor Day in Brooklyn. Some sites just not the same, but otherwise a lot like home. This way or that, with a big city audience to take it all in.